How are y'all doing? Oh, wrong way. Hello everyone, my name is Angel and welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you some life lessons that I've learned and some tips and tricks that have made my life easier. I don't know about you guys, but I went from high school to undergrad to graduate school to corporate, and I haven't had a break in between. Breathe a little easier and know that you are not alone in any means. We are all in this together. And yeah, the first thing I want to say is that it is okay for things not to work out. We choose our careers when we're in high school, 17, 18 years old, and now most of us are 23, 24, 25. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to have wanted something then that just didn't end up being what you truly wanted to spend the rest of your life doing. It's okay. It's normal. Don't worry about it. The biggest thing that I want to make clear is that you are exactly where you need to be in your life. I am guilty of being so worried about my future that I sometimes just let the present moments pass me by, or the present isn't as important as the next thing, and it's detrimental. You have to learn to live and let go. This is your path. This is your world. Everyone else is just living in it. This is your dream. You are the only person who knows the path that is perfect for you. Don't compare to others. This is just straight from personal experience. When you get out of college, everyone has a different major, everyone has a different path, a different career goal, and it seems like when you're on LinkedIn and you're talking to your friends, everyone has the perfect career for after college, everyone has the perfect first job, and you might feel like, holy crap, I can't find a job, or I don't know what I want my job to be, and that is totally okay. Everyone is on a different playing field. It is okay to be a little bit slower to find your footing than everybody else, because you will find it eventually. You do not have to have your life together at 22, 25, even 30. And something that I encourage you to do is talk to those older people in your life, those role models, your mentors, and ask them what they were doing at your age. Anytime I ask my dad, hey, what were your 20s like? My dad is super successful. I aspire to be like him. And I'll have those conversations with him. And he's like, I don't know what was going on. We were just making it work, eating ramen noodles, and it's okay. We'll figure it out eventually. Next thing that I want to get across to you is chase your dreams now. Doing something later doesn't necessarily mean you're doing it better. A lot of us push things off and we wait till the time is perfect and all the stars align, and it's just never gonna happen. And maybe it will, but the odds of it happening are slim to none. So you need to take action today. Me and you here today. This is something that I've put off for years. I started channels, deleted channels, made it big, wanted to start over, and I just decided, what is the worst thing that could happen if I just film every week? Just commit to that. Start today. Let's see how successful you can be. Make space for everything in your life that resonates with you. There's a lot of things that I've learned. The number one thing that I want to share with you, the knowledge I want you to get from this video, is to never sell yourself short and to never undervalue your worth. For my college grads, my young professionals, those transitioning in between career fields, you may have been laid off, you're looking for a new role, it can be so intimidating. I've been there. I've done that. You never want to settle for something that you are overqualified for. You never want to settle because you feel like that is your only option. And we do it in all aspects of life. We do it with career, we do it with relationships, we do it with self-development. We think that this is the best that we can get, so we stick around and find out. Don't. Commit to self-love. Embrace yourself for who you are in a non-judgmental form. You have to learn that you are the most important person in your life. You have to put yourself first in everything that you do. Talk to yourself with love, keep your thoughts clean, don't be negative towards yourself, because negativity is the death of all inspiration, and it can kill you before you even get started. With that being said, stop living your life on autopilot. This is the time in your life where you probably have the least amount of responsibility and ties that you will for the rest of your life. You have the flexibility to do anything. Don't just go with the motions. Take action. Stop letting life pass you by. Stop letting other people's perspectives and failures of their own project onto you. You do not have to wear other people's failures. Just because someone else's small business didn't work for them doesn't mean that yours isn't going to work for you. Allow yourself to live through positivity and an active approach in your life. I've known so many people who just let life pass them by, and I couldn't think of a worse way to live, at least for me. With that, set your boundaries. Set boundaries with everybody in your life. I cannot express it enough. When we are in our 20s, this is the time of our life when we are finally shedding the skin of the person we were in high school, the person we were in college, the mistakes we made in our early 20s. We are allowed to grow, and when other people keep trying to shape you and mold you into the version of yourself that they want you to be, you will never be satisfied. They will never be satisfied. Only live for yourself. This is your time to write your own narrative, focus on the things that you can control, and let go of any circumstances or situations that no longer serve you. Let the resentment go and replace it with love and move on. As we're in our early 20s, this is when we get to have a chance to speak up and decide, you know what, I don't like that. I'm not doing that anymore because I don't have to. I'm an adult now. I don't have to do things that other people want me to do. This is a time to learn. This is a time to grow. This is a time that you get to rebrand who you are and represent yourself to the world and say, take it or leave it. For all my new corporate baddies entering the work field, work-life balance, okay? I have a little story for you. The rest of this video is gonna be journal entries that I have written and things that I struggled with entering this different parts of my life that I wanna share with you so you don't have to struggle too. I don't understand why we both have to struggle. I'm your big sister. I struggled, you don't have to struggle. You're welcome. Your life should not just be wake up, work, sleep, repeat. You have to take control of the narrative and decide what you want your life to be. Life after college is not talked about, and I see you. You are not alone in this. You get to take this extra time that you have and figure out what are you passionate about? What are your interests? What are things that you thought you liked, but you realize you only really like those things because the people you were around enjoyed them? I found like in my 19, 20 age range was when I grew the most. It might have been a pandemic, maybe not. But that's when I found myself asking myself those hard questions like, do I even like this? Or do I just think I like this because my parents like it or my parents wanted me to like it? When we're in our 20s, when we're in college, when we are in these transformative times in our life, we learn so much and we meet so many new people and we learn so many new things in the world that we didn't have access to in our little bubbles growing up in our small towns or cities or areas, zip codes, whatever. And when we go out to college and we meet people from different backgrounds and people with different lives than us and different socioeconomic statuses, you learn a lot. Things that you never probably knew growing up in your sheltered lives that we have and lived. So try out those new characteristics, try out those new things you've learned and see who you want to rebrand and reintroduce yourself to the world as. With that being said, use your time wisely. When you join corporate and you do the 8 to 5, it seems like we work 8 to 5, we go home, typically pick up fast food, and then we watch Netflix and we do it all again every day. And we don't prioritize ourselves, our mental or our physical well-being. And I want to almost warn you or caution you to take a step back and reflect on your life and see if you're really living yourself an active life or if you're just passively letting things go. Are you living a passive life? Things are just happening. You have no control over them. That's not what we want in our life. Use your time wisely. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. Some people are millionaires. Some of us are not. What's the difference? What is standing in your way from leveling up and taking advantage of all this time that you have and maybe even waste on a day-to-day basis? When I was in college, I worked full-time and I was in school full-time, which means I did 40 hours of school and 40 hours of work, and I coached and I swam, I did all these activities, and it felt like I was just drowning. And once I started corporate, once I finished grad school and all I had to do was work 40 hours a week, I felt like I had unlimited time. I felt like the world was my oyster, because it is. It is your oyster to explore and discover what works for you. I've learned that 40 hours is not enough work for me, so I have a part-time job on top of my full-time job, and maybe I'm a busybody, but that's what works for me and my budget too, because shit's expensive. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with today, which I'm sure you were probably expecting it to come up, but money is power in this world. You need to find your side hustle, find the way to make the bag, because the more money you have in life and the stress-free release of not having to live paycheck to paycheck will change your life. It can be a blessing and a curse with anything in life. The more money you have, the more money you want to spend. And I encourage you as someone in your 20s to not put yourself in any financial situation that you cannot back up. A lot of us go out and get fancy cars that cost a lot of money, and if you lose your job, what happens? I encourage you to put yourself in situations that work for you. I live by like the 50-30-20 spending rule, which is where 50% of my income covers all of my expenses. I put 30 or 20% into savings and spend either 30 or 20% on fun and activities and travel and leisure activities. Shopping. It's really just shopping. As always, with anything in life, just because you have the money, just because you can spend the money, doesn't mean you should spend the money. And in your early 20s, that's when we're kind of the most financially irresponsible. And one day I will walk you through the pleasures of being financial literate, but that is not today, and I have to run. So thank you guys so much for tuning into my spiel of how to conquer your 20s. You are right where you need to be. You're doing amazing. I see you. You are not alone, and if you need me, just let me know. If you have the means, please donate to Make-A-Wish Foundation in honor of my friend Nyla, and I will see you guys again with another video next Sunday. Bye guys.